Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel and let's continue the Saturn series. And now we're going to talk about Saturn in the 11th house, and we're also going to talk about some remedies which we can follow, okay, if we have Saturn in the 11th house. Now, before we move towards the Saturn's impact, first try to understand what is 11th house, okay. So 11th house, as we know, it's a labhasthan, means it's the house of fulfillment of your desire, house of your profit, house of your social recognition, your network. Okay, how how qualityful network you have means what kind of friends you have, whether it's they're influential, they're well settled, good circle, good people or not. That everything we can see from the 11th house. Now, when Saturn is placed over there, okay, when Saturn is in the 11th house, what we can expect? First of all, Saturn is the natural 11th ruler, okay. So, irrespective of any zodiac sign, whenever it is placed in the 11th house, it feels very comfortable, first of all, okay. Now, you need to understand what does it mean that it feels comfortable. It doesn't mean that it will give you good results only. Comfortable means now he is like having full control of that particular house, and it doesn't getting much impacted or affected by the other planets over there, even if there are any aspects, okay. Yes, definitely if Jupiter is aspecting Saturn or Mars is aspecting Saturn, then we can see some changes. But in general, in majority cases, Saturn being in 11th, he controls the entire house. Okay, that is the best part, I would say, because see, sometime if Saturn is having someone else aspect, right, so it lose its own way of doing it, okay. So most of the time we need, or even as a human being, right, we need our individuality to rise and shine rather than someone is controlling us. So that is a normal behavior, right. So similarly, Saturn is also, you can consider him as a human being, and just think from his point of view, you are in your strongest house and you really don't need anybody to tell you what to do and how to do, right. So similarly, Saturn being in 11th, it feels very confident, and it really wants to give you the right rewards, what you really deserve, okay, in your journey in this life. Now, in general, what we can see being Saturn in the 11th, yes, the most important thing is your social circle will be very, very qualityful. Okay, you may not have 1,000 friends in the social network or social media platform, but you might have only 10 of your buddies, but who are very close. That's why I use the word buddies. Okay, who are very close to you, who are ready to do anything for you whenever you are in deep trouble. They are always there to support you, both physically and mentally. So that kind of connection you can develop when you have Saturn in the 11th house. Okay, you might have a good number of friends, but those 10 buddies will be there for you for so long time. That is the major advantage of Saturn being in 11th. It gives qualityful social network. Influential people, you will get connected with influential people. Let's say you are an astrologer, example, okay, example, you are an astrologer, or you are an IT engineer, or you are a kind of a real estate broker, okay, anything, okay. So but from others point of view, it may not look like it's a classy one and something, right. But the thing is, being in this position, even the people feel that, oh, okay, it's okay, it's not that much high paid things, but you will be connected with a lot of influential people. So that is the magic of Saturn in the 11th. You don't need to be a kind of let's say a person who has a lot of authority, a lot of power, a lot of money, but people who have that, and you can make advantage of it. You can gain some profit. I should not say profit, like you can get some let's say advantage. You can get some let's say favor, okay, from those influential people, because you have Saturn in the 11th. You can get favors even from the government, Okay, government officers, police, you might have a very good friend who is already an IPS officer. Okay, so if you are in trouble, if you are in some sort of chaos where police intervention is needed, you definitely you can call your IPS friend, right? You can call your police friend. So that kind of influence what I'm talking about. Okay, so that's what Saturn gives usually when it is in the 11th house, irrespective of any zodiac sign. Now, what kind of profession it can give? So for profession, you need to understand three things where it is aspecting. Okay, Saturn aspects also define where it, what kind of profession it can give, because being a natural 10th lord, it is also having an aspect of 10th, right? Saturn always aspect its 10th house, third, 7th and 10th house from its position. So that's why 10th from Saturn is always important to determine your, if you can grow in a job, or if you can grow in a business, what kind of job you can do, what kind of domain you should select, what kind of business you can do, what kind of let's say whether it should be a partnership business, or like single handedly you are doing. So those things we can see from the 10th from Saturn, because Saturn aspects the 10th house from its position. So if Saturn is in your 11th house, the first thing it aspects your first house. Okay, that means your lagna, it is aspecting you. So what it demands? It demands discipline towards your own health. It demands discipline towards your diet habit. It demands discipline towards your any kind of, let's say you have some disease or some medication is going on, you should be very very disciplined while taking medicines. Okay, that means it wants you to take care of your health. And when I talk about health, it is not only physical health, it should be mental health as well. So this is very important. And with this particular thing, Saturn aspecting first house, it also aspects your fifth house, the house of creativity. So it also needs to think, like it wants you to think like what else you can do, what kind of what I'm trying to say here, it wants you to think, it wants you to generate some idea. Okay, it may be possible to execute or may not be, that is different. But the thing is, it wants you to think rather than following the same thing for so long time. Whenever Saturn aspects your fifth house, it always demands that you come with your own idea, you come with your own thought process. Okay, you should pitch in your solutions, or possible solutions to others. Okay, then what will happen, Saturn will start showing you the path where or which you can follow to execute the entire thing. Okay, so that is the best part. Now Saturn aspecting fifth, one more area is, like a lot of people ask that whether it will delay the childbirth or not, whether I'll have a kid or not. See, one thing you need to understand, Saturn aspecting or Saturn sitting in fifth house or any house, that doesn't mean that it is denied. Every time I tell people that do not fear Saturn, it's like it is becoming a taboo nowadays that Saturn is like fearsome, malefic and all. See, the way we follow, the way we how we respond to others. Okay, we are doing that karma, right? Based on your karma, Saturn is going to give you the results. The same thing, if you study well, definitely you can score well. If you do not, you may not. But here a lot of people ask, but even after studying so hard, I may not be able to, I was not able to crack a competitive exam. That's fine, maybe you are in the wrong field, or maybe you have some conditions in your chart where maybe the first attempt is not successful, you need to try another 2 or 3 attempts. That also we can see from the chart. There are a lot of exams, at least in India, right? UPSC or any public service commissions, or any kind of exams like CAT. Okay, which usually people target to get into IIMs and all, right? Or let's say IIT exams. So a lot of people are trying. It's not like they are not trying or they are not studying. But the thing is that your chart demands that more than one attempt. Okay, so you should not connect that, oh, Saturn is there or Saturn is aspecting my fifth house, that's why I am not able to pass the exam and all. It's totally it's the wrong judgment, I would say. That doesn't work like that. Okay, So and it is also, there is a misconception going on, or I have seen some in some platforms, that a lot of people are discussing that Saturn is the karaka of competitive exam, because Saturn gives the persistence, perseverance, consistency. No, it's not. Saturn is not meant for competitive exams. Mercury is the ruler of competitive exams, okay, where your skills will be tested. But what Saturn does, Saturn makes you strong. Saturn gives you that kind of patience where you can continuously study for 10 hours, 12 hours. That is a different thing. Okay, now coming back to the topic, when it is aspecting your fifth house, whether it will delay the childbirth or any kind of competitive exam success, it depends on your fifth lord. It depends totally on your fifth lord. If your fifth lord is not in a good dignity, not in a good position, yes, it can delay. You might need more than one attempts or two attempts. Okay, so that is the one thing you need to understand. Okay, Saturn just watching your fifth house, aspecting your fifth house, that doesn't mean everything is delayed. All the creative works, all the competitive exams is delayed, or attempts are delayed. It's not like that. That's not the right way to judge Saturn. Okay, so you need to check your fifth house lord, okay, in what condition it is, whether any other aspects are falling on the fifth house or not, any other malefic aspects are there or not. What Saturn does in the fifth house, it actually clears the obstacles. You need to understand, if you have any other malefic things, right, on the fifth house, or any other malefic planets aspecting your fifth house, but Saturn being in 11th, when it is aspecting your fifth, it tries to clear the other obstacles. Okay, so it is working as a blessing in disguise for you. So that's why Saturn is very good in 11th. That's why I told that even in any house, whenever Saturn is in 11th house, in any zodiac, it still feel more powerful. Okay, because he knows how to control the entire environment. Okay, because first is your environment, that is you. Next is fifth, it is your surroundings, it is your creativity, it is your wisdom. So it will clear all the obstacles from that place. Okay, and the very next let's say aspect, it is falling on your 8th house. Just imagine, the moment it is clearing all the obstacles from your 5th house, right, it is helping you to transform. It is giving the aspect into your transformational house. So just imagine how beautiful 11th house Saturn is for you. You just need to understand that where and how and which way it is pointing you. And if you really get a chance to follow that particular area or path, definitely Saturn in the 11th can create fantastic results in your life. Now saying all these points, okay, what kind of profession you can choose. Now you need to look for each and every aspect. First of all, Saturn 11, good social network, that's what I told. So you can become a fantastic, as I said, real estate agent. Okay, you could be anything which is connected with real estate. Let's say you can even sell products which is used for construction. Okay, it could be cement, it could be bricks, it could be iron rods, anything. Okay, whatever is needed for construction work, you can become a owner of that particular products. Okay, you can have a hardware shops. So that is one thing. Now because of you have a good influential circle, people will start coming to you and buy products. Okay, next is Saturn being in 11th, it is very good to have anything related to wholesale business, like a dealership, like paintings. Okay, paintings, like we do this wall painting, right? Whenever we buy new house, we do wall paintings, and or any kind of wallpapers we use, or any kind of design we do, right? So that kind of things also you can keep in your shop. You can keep the paintings, you can keep the brush, you can keep any kind of other tools which is needed to do the designs in the wall. So that is also possible for you. Now it is also aspecting your first house, so anything related to grooming items, like people are nowadays they sell, let's say, grooming kits. Okay, it's not necessary it has to be for only male or female, it can be both, I am telling. Okay, grooming kits, any grooming essentials, it could be perfumes, it could be jewelries, it could be watches. Okay, it's not mandatory that it should be luxurious. It's totally based on your capability, your affordability, and your customers affordability. So you think in that fashion also. Next, it is aspecting your fifth house, any business or any kind of coaching center, which coaching center could be anything. Okay, it's not like coaching center means it has to be a let's say you are giving coaching for any entrance exam. No, it could be something like you are training people for any handicrafts things. Okay, you are giving training for, let's say, some designing activity. Okay, sewing machines, you are helping others to do the sewing and all. So that kind of things also you can do, because that needs a lot of creativity. Maybe you are teaching someone painting, how to do drawings and all. Or maybe because 11th connected with 5th, you can also start, if you are interested and if you have the talent, you can also start your own school of drama, school of dance, or school of, let's say, any kind of instruments. Okay, so these are the areas where you can make money. And also it is aspecting your eighth, as I always said. If Saturn or any planet aspecting your eighth, it always opens the portal for occult. So you can make money by using occult. Yes, it is possible. That means you can become an astrologer or numerologist or vastu shastra specialist, anything. Okay, in any form of this entire division, you can charge fees. You can definitely earn money using that. And one more thing, being in eighth, you can also be an agent of health insurance or any kind of term insurance, mediclaim. So if you are associated with all this company, let's say you are doing a job, not a salesperson or not an agent, but still you can be part of those companies who sells health insurance or term insurance or mediclaims, right? You can be part of that. Or car insurance, that means any kind of insurance you could be part of, either being an agent or being a employee of that particular company. So these are the areas where you can definitely rise and shine. And one thing, yes, this particular Saturn, right, being in 11th, it is aspecting your 8th. It also shows that, that's totally, I felt it. I have studied a few charts and I have seen that they can escape death. They can escape death, in the sense, what I'm trying to tell here, Saturn doesn't like, Saturn is like, he is the brother of Yam. If you know, in the Indian mythology, we have Yam, right? So Yam is the god of death, what we know, right? So Saturn is the brother of Yam, and Saturn is aspecting the Yama's house, that is the 8th house. So whenever Saturn aspects 8th, right, so I have seen that a lot of people, even all of a sudden, they met across a very fatal accident, but they survive. Okay, all of a sudden they suddenly feel so sick, and maybe some medicines are not working and doctors are losing hope, or family members are also in a situation where they are feeling very helpless, but because of that transit, a miracle happens and they survive, and they survive very well, and they stay for a very long period of time in this life. Okay, so that's what I'm telling that, Saturn aspecting your 8th, this is also a big blessing. Okay, it will protect you. Okay, it's a divine protection. Somehow it is a divine protection when Saturn is aspecting 8th. And also remember, Saturn is the karaka of 8th. It is a significator of 8th house. Saturn is the karaka of 8th, and being a brother of Yam, it can stop death at one point of time. Okay, so that's why I'm telling, respect Saturn whenever it is in the 11th house. Now coming to the remedy part, this is very unique. I was thinking whether how can I share that information in this public forum, but I felt you guys should know. Okay, so from my point of view, okay, I am not gonna judge any other experts on this, but from my point of view, what I have seen in last so many years of studies and research, that whenever Saturn is in the 11th house, right, we prefer, at least I prefer, not to suggest any remedy for Saturn. That is one thing. Or 11th house, right, let's say Saturn is in Scorpio, or Saturn is in Pisces, it is your 11th house, let's say. So we should not even do remedy for the 11th lord also, because let Saturn control the entire area. That is why I always prefer, at least in my, whenever I do consultation, or I suggest some advice to people who are having Saturn in the 11th house, I always tell, even if you are running through some bad phase because of Saturn, just pass it. Let's not do any kind of gemstone remedy, or any kind of tantric remedy, or any kind of kavach remedy. It's just avoid. Okay, because let Saturn play its own role over there. Okay, otherwise it most of the time, at least I have seen, that it backfires in a different way. Okay, it may, the area where you are having the trouble because of Saturn, let's say you are facing trouble in your career and you do some remedy, and you feel like, okay, now I have settled down in my career, all of a sudden your personal life will be pissed off, your personal life will see, start seeing some bad phase. So that's why I tell people that Saturn being in 11th, it controls the entire chart. Okay, it's not just 11th or those three houses where it aspects. Being in 11th, Saturn is the owner of the entire kundli. That is the main thing what I am trying to tell here. So if you have Saturn in the 11th, I would suggest, before doing any remedy, always suggest that wait for some time. Okay, that bad phase definitely will go. It may not be because of Saturn, but for some other planets. Okay, some other aspects of into that particular chart. So we can do those remedies. But 11th Lord and the Saturn, ideally we should avoid. That's one thing I just wanted to tell you guys. And yeah, in general, you can do one thing. Instead of gemstones and all, just to make sure that your mind should be calm even when you are in a trouble, right? That is expected from everybody. Being in a tough situation, you should be very calm and composed, then only you can win that situation. So in that case, you can chant Hanuman Chalisa, you can listen to Hanuman Chalisa. Lord Hanuman and Lord Saturn, they're very good friends. Okay, they have a mutual understanding, and as per mythology, Indian mythology, we know that, okay, that Lord Saturn always respects Lord Hanuman and his devotees. So that way you can do that. I don't know whether you should take it as a remedy or not, but make it as a habit, I would say. Okay, so you can offer anything to Lord Bajrangbali or Hanuman. Okay, and definitely being Saturn in the 11th house, that also, to some extent, it will make sure the other planetary negativity will get reduced. Okay, so at least at one point of time you will feel, okay, once Saturn things are done, I am out of that that difficult situation. So keep those things in mind. Definitely you're gonna rise and shine if you have Saturn in the 11th, and mostly we can see a lot of people have a fantastic rise in their life after 40 years of age. Okay, so from 39 and 40, Saturn in the 11th starts showing the rise in their life. Okay guys, so I think we discussed a lot for Saturn in the 11th. I hope you'll like it, and definitely, thanks everyone. I have seen a lot of comments for the Saturn 9th house. I feel people are loving all these. You guys are loving, whatever I'm sharing with you guys. It is really, really, so encouraging for me to continue this journey. So I'm going to share a lot of informations, whatever I have learned so far in so many years. Okay, and definitely, I believe you still will be with me in this journey. Okay, so soon, as I said, we gonna, after this Saturn series, right, we're gonna talk about Rahu as well, which is most important planet in this era, and everybody is talking about Rahu. So there also we're gonna start, but today we'll end this particular video with Saturn in the 11th house, and keeps joining my videos, and keep sharing and loving. Thank you.